We are Gemma and Campbell, and we've just waved goodbye to full-time van life in the UK, ready to spend the next 5 weeks on a bucket list adventure all across North America. This week we began our trip in the one and only New York City, where we'll be showing you the best things that you can do if you only have 48 hours in the city that never sleeps. With everything from bus tours to helicopter tours, musical diners to sky-high roof bars, this is the ultimate 2-day itinerary to New York City, and it is the perfect way to explore the Big Apple. Good morning everyone and welcome to New York!
Woo, we made it to New York!
Yeah, we got in late last night and we're up and now bright and early this morning to try and explore the city. Where are we going?
We are starting the day off with one of the most New Yorkish things I think you can do in New York, and I'm so excited. So we are heading to Ellen's Stardust diner this morning for breakfast, which is one of the most popular spots to visit in New York for breakfast, lunch or dinner. So popular that it's normally queued out the door, which is why we're going for breakfast this morning, and also because we did wake up at 4 AM wide awake and ready to get out and explore. So it's a perfect place to start the day and hype up our first day in New York.
And there it is. Doesn't look like there's actually any queue.
These joys are coming at 7 AM.
The joys of jet lag. So they don't actually take reservations here, and I have seen video clips online of this queue being all the way down the block and then sometimes round the corner. So if you do want to get here for dinner or later on in the day, you might want to come a couple of hours earlier before you actually plan on eating. Otherwise you're going to be very hungry. Well, that was definitely a good start to our time in New York. It was the most bizarre but amazing breakfast I've ever experienced. And a proper Broadway singers in there. They were saying that they've actually performed on Broadway a couple of times. So it's the cheapest Broadway ticket you'll actually get. Highly recommend. That was delicious. We're at the Rockefellar Centre now. It just looks completely different to what I was actually expecting. Like everything I've seen online from Home Alone and stuff is obviously at Christmas time. We've got the big tree right there. All of that's gone. I think they've put all of these flagpoles up instead, and it just looks very, very different to what I was expecting.
I know, same. I'm trying to we almost walked straight past it and didn't even notice. I was like, oh, there's loads of flags, and I was like, hang on a minute.
I'm just trying to get my bearings of where the actual tree would be normally. Okay. Recognise it now.
Yes, recognise it now. We were completely on the wrong side, so it looked nothing like it, but...
The tree's just in there, and then you've got the Rockefeller Centre stretching way up into the sky.
There, this would be a dream to come in Christmas, wouldn't it? A queue for the front of the bull and a queue for the back. Like massive queues to get a photo with the bull.
But what's funny is that the queue for the back of the bull is twice as long as the queue for the front.
I know, that's true.
Twice as many people want a photo of the bull's arse than they do the actual head.
Make that make sense. I just want to go and have a wee look over the barrier, get a brief overlook of the size of Central Park, and I think we're going to come back here tomorrow and go and have a good look around. But I just love it. We've just walked past the Plaza Hotel. We're just going to walk into the little area of the park where you hear Kevin's dad screaming out the side of the hotel room in Home Alone 2 going, that was the Roosevelt tramway, and it actually takes you over to this little area called Roosevelt Island. I just checked my bank there, it costs $2.90 to come over. I'm going to guess it's possibly going to cost $2.90 to go back as well, but how cheap to go in a cable car over the city, passing this beautiful iconic bridge and arriving in another peaceful little island. Amongst the clouds. Just look at that skyline. Honestly, New York has blown me out the water. I always knew I was going to love it, but I'm just like, wow.
I also love this wee island because there's a lovely little river walk with some trees and stuff. One thing that's magical, however, was on the tram I got my first glimpse of the Empire State Building. First time since we arrived, and I always say you never forget that first time they actually catch a glimpse of the Empire State Building. It was pretty magical.
You were about to say Empire Biscuit there, weren't you? I heard you. You went Empire State building. Empire biscuit, thinking about your stomach already.
So we're just making our way back towards our hotel to get some lunch, and we had to stop off and get some pizza just to keep us going. It's one thing I love about New York so far. We got this really cheap pizza right next to our hotel last night, and it was only about $3.50 for 2 slices and a drink.
It was, and it was delicious. And yeah, we were starving there. We just walked past the pizza place and it smelled so good, and we're like, oh, can't we not? $2 for this massive big slice. Look at that, and the pizza is just so tasty. Hot.
Barstool Sports out of 10.
9. Very hot though. I was complaining about being cold 2 minutes ago, and now I'm like, oh, burnt my fingers.
So this is a part of New York that I've been very excited to actually come and check out. My sister highly recommended it to me, and it's basically an old train track that's like been turned into more of a walkway where you can go above the city, and it's been decorated with like kind of plants and trees and flowers. Obviously it's still not spring yet, there's some flowers are starting to bloom, but in summer it's going to be such a nice vibe here because it just gets you above the kind of hustle and bustle of like the cars and trucks and traffic stops every 200 meters, and it just means that you can actually just walk through the city as almost like you're walking through a bit of a forest as well.
It's made me realise actually how much you stop to cross the road in New York. Like, see, being able to just walk and not stop, it's actually been quite nice. Not had to stop and wait for traffic or stop to check the road. I mean, it is kind of busy, but it's not like even busy, and we even saw some like wooden chairs up there where you could sit on them, or there was ones that were basically sun loungers, like wooden sun loungers. There was loads of people lying out reading their books and chilling out, and you had single ones, you had double ones, so different kind of group sizes can all congregate together and just enjoy this beautiful, peaceful, natural environment. It's lovely.
Okay guys, so the day is quickly coming to an end, but we decided to finish our first day off in New York in style with one hell of a view. What have we got? We've got a little Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I know, tourist central and really kind of authentic, I guess. Have you got much energy left, babe?
I'm tired. The jet lag is, that early morning is well and truly kicking in. But I've got a wee mini hot chocolate just because it's warm, it's quite cold outside. And we've got 2 glazed donuts. I don't know, I've actually never had Dunkin' Donuts before, so I'm quite excited to try it. Oh man, that's good. And then we're heading up one of the most famous buildings in New York.
Pretty magical, eh?
That is mad. We're so high up. And to think we're not even in the tallest building in New York, like, or right at the top. Oh god, I got a bit of jelly legs right now when I looked up there. Oh. Don't do that.
Now I know there's a few different buildings that you can actually come up in New York City, the Edge being one, there's another one, the Vanderbilt, and then you've got the Empire State Building, and you've got the top of the Rock, Rockefellar. This isn't the tallest, but I think it's the most iconic because it was like once the tallest building in New York. You've got fantastic views of lower Manhattan, and then as you wander around the building you get a 360-degree view of the entire city, and it's just fascinating. It's just so beautiful, and I think it's just the perfect way to round off our first day in New York City. I'm just like so happy.
So we booked our tickets for 5 PM, but it was really cute, and I would actually say if you want to get a sunset, tonight we've not really had much of a sunset, it's kind of been a bit cloudy, but if you do want to get a sunset, I would say book an hour and a half before sunset, and that way, hopefully then you'll get to see it at golden hour, and then in the dark as well. I mean, that's perfect, best of both worlds. I think the ticket was like $20 more expensive for this time, but it's kind of worth it, isn't it?
So But good morning, gang. It's day 2 here in New York. We're actually just heading to do a hop-on, hop-off bus tour now. The sun is shining and I think it's going to be a really good way to try and get a little bit more of our bearings around the city. And we're boarding not far from a hotel. It's just outside Times Square. Have a good day. So this is a Harry Potter store which sits just beside the Flatiron building, and it's basically a big tourist shop that's got loads of props and it's a fully immersive like Harry Potter experience. It's really cool coming here after going to the one in London and just seeing how enthusiastic everyone across the world actually is for Harry Potter. I've always been a Potter fan since I was a kid, and we're getting to try our own butterbeer here as well. Got 2 glasses. Cheers.
Guys, look at this. I'm getting to actually drink a butterbeer with Harry Potter himself. He gets this all the time because of his glasses.
Yeah, I do get it quite a lot saying that I look like Harry Potter. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.
I remember not really being overly mad about this the last time we had one, but that was at the Harry Potter studio tour, possibly about like 8 years ago. So maybe my taste buds have changed. It's very sweet. It's actually quite nice. It's actually quite nice.
We left the Harry Potter store and jumped back on the sightseeing bus for a ride to downtown Manhattan. The real perk of this bus ticket was the unlimited transport that came alongside the educational tour of the city, which taught us a lot about NYC that we didn't already know. We spent the rest of the day hopping on and off at all of the famous spots, one of which in particular was more significant to us than the rest.
We've just stopped off next at the 9/11 Memorial, and my goodness, it feels really quite bizarre and sad to be here in person. I mean, the memorial is absolutely beautiful and I love the meaning behind it, the fact that the water, no matter how much water pours into that waterfall, it will never be full and the void will never be filled. I think that's like a really beautiful kind of meaning behind the memorial, but yeah, I feel quite emotional being here. Very emotional place to come and visit.
It's not too rocky. We're going to have the seats rolling around.
I know, I was going to say, which way are we going, do you think? This way?
Yeah, that way, yeah. Oh, I see the Statue of Liberty.
It actually looks smaller than I was expecting from here. Maybe when we get closer that'll change, but at the moment I'm like, oh,
Tiny.
tiny.
We've actually been hanging around here for about 20-30 minutes now. It was a mad rush to get photos as soon as we saw the Statue of Liberty, but if you want to hang around till the end, it's very easy to get a clear view of it. And it's just so cool seeing the perspective like out from the water of Manhattan and the skyline of New York. What's also good, and I remember hearing about it, is the Staten Island ferry is actually a really good way to head over and see the tower a little bit closer for free, because the ferry across the Staten Island is actually completely free and it doesn't take you up as close as one of these tours does, but it gives you a bit more of a closer perspective than on the mainland of Manhattan.
Ooh, this is cool, isn't it? I feel much better now. I put my sunglasses on. I realised that even though it was so cloudy, it was so bright, I was proper frowning that way we were trying to take photos and I'm like, I can't see. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool to see it from the water, isn't it? I feel like you kind of get a good perspective of everything, like where everything is and where it all is on the map. And I mean, seeing the Statue of Liberty again, that's just like another bucket list. Tick. It's just so cool to see that up close.
Thank you, mate. Have a good one. Okay.
Now, next up, I am so glad that sun is now shining because we have one of the most exciting things I think we have ever booked coming up. And we kind of were hoping for some good weather for it.
And there it is. That's what we're going on. Are you excited?
I'm really excited. I actually feel a little bit nervous looking at that now. I've never been in a helicopter before.
Me neither, actually.
I know, I'm kind of feeling the sounds of this little mini skydiving plane in Australia. Like, that's what it's kind of reminding me of.
Yeah.
But I need to remind myself I'm not jumping out of this. I'm literally just going to enjoy the views. It's literally the most expensive tour trip that we have ever done. So I'm buzzing. I'm so excited for it. I think it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, the plan is we're leaving from Pier 6 down at the southern end of Manhattan, and we're going to be doing a full tour. I think it takes you all the way out to the Statue of Liberty again, and then it does a full tour around Manhattan. It's going to be so cool to actually see the island and see all the buildings in the concrete jungle from above. We've now seen it from the bus, we've seen it from the boat. All that's left to see it is from the sky.
Wow.
What's that
Wow.
the coolest thing that you've
That-
ever done?
Honestly, exceeded all expectations. That was incredible. Like, I can't quite put it into words just yet. I still feel like I'm like coming down. See, taking those earphones off, all of a sudden I was like, wow, that's loud without those headphones on. Oh man, it's just so cool. Like, see, to actually, I can see why they call it the concrete jungle. It is insanely packed with like all different shapes and sizes and colours of buildings. It is quite magical to see from above, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That felt really special. Like, actually, at one point I was like, oh my god, I feel like quite emotional that this is actually happening. Never been in a helicopter before, never been in New York before, and next thing I know, I'm flying in a helicopter over New York. Like, what? It's mad, it blows my mind, but it was so much fun, so good. And I will say it was worth it. It was pricey, but it was worth it.
Yeah, we did actually book this tour on Get Your Guide. Again, you can get pretty good deals, I think. Like, it's not cheap, it was about £440. We said we're going to come to New York and do these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, and that was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It was absolutely insane.
And look, the rain's coming in now.
I know, yeah, that's
So,
good timing.
time for dinner?
Yeah.
What time is it? Oh. Guys, our body clocks are still all over the place. It's only 10 to 5.
Where are we going for dinner?
We're heading to Little Italy because, well, obviously, we're going to go to Little Italy when we're in New York because it's us and we love Italian food and we love pizza. And when we saw there was a Little Italy, apparently it's one of the best places to go for food. So let's go and scope out what we can get there.
It was also just so funny seeing New York from above, because we're always saying, like, it looks so small on the map. So, like, how does it take so long to get between places? We've been travelling a lot. Like, this city is absolutely huge. Like, honestly, we keep looking at the map and thinking, oh, it doesn't look as if it's that far away, don't we? And then it takes about 45 minutes to actually walk to somewhere.
No wonder my step count is through the roof when I look at it like that, because we've been walking some hella distances through New York, haven't we?
We managed to find the cheapest margarita pizza, I think, in Little Italy. It was $16 for a margarita. It's worth shopping around because it varied between $16 all the way up to like $22 for a pizza. And it's this cute little Italian restaurant, really nice. Okay guys, we're checking out. I thought I'd just give you a quick room tour before we actually do so. It's a super small apartment. Big comfy bed, there's a bathroom in there, and I'll just show you this view over here. This is what we've got out of our bedroom window. Times Square is literally just over there. So it's like proper centrally located if you are looking for something. I think it was like maybe a 10-minute walk, 2 blocks away from the nearest subway station, and it's called Pod Hotel Times Square. Very affordable, very comfortable, and I would actually recommend it if you're looking for somewhere that's like right in the hustle and bustle of New York.
But it's not really noisy, like it's so peaceful up here. Once you kind of get up a level, there's also like a nice lounge and bar area and restaurant downstairs. Once you get up, well, even down there, but once you get in here, it's so quiet you can't even hear the traffic or anything outside. I've been really comfortable here.
And so guys, we've just arrived in our next destination.
We are in Las Vegas. Like if you saw from those clips we just showed there, oh my goodness, I think this trip is going to be pretty wild. We're really excited to be here. Tomorrow morning we pick up a car. We're going to start our trip by driving out to the Grand Canyon, which is just like mind blowing. Can't believe we're actually going to be there. But if you want to see more of that, tune in next week and we'll be showing you what we got up to whilst we're in Las Vegas and out at Grand Canyon. And if you enjoyed this video about New York, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our future videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!